Hello and welcome back to Break Panel Sports. I'm John, joined alongside Joel. The madness has arrived.
Oh
Here
yeah,
in March, we're back. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Really,
it's the best time of the year.
my second favorite part of the sports calendar is March Madness. My first is the NFL Draft. A little
Oh,
fun.
same. Yeah,
Yeah,
literally
it's how it is. Joel, how are we?
doing good. I thought I'd point out because, like you said, the NFL draft is probably my favorite part. The NFL draft is my birthday.
So today it's your birthday, the first round or
The second round, the
second? You
second,
get day two.
you,
You get rounds two and
usually
three.
the second round is my birthday. I'm
That
more excited about that than my actual birthday. That's
That's
how.
fair. Yeah. Throw a little draft party for the birthday, but just don't make it your birthday. Tell everyone it's your birthday after, right? When the Giants pick JJ McCarthy, you will not
Oh my
want it to be your
god.
birthday the day after. Um, that'll be fun. But today we're actually not talking about the NFL draft. That is quickly approaching, obviously, but that's not what we're here to talk about, Joel. We're here to make a bracket.
We're gonna make a bracket, man.
We're gonna make our bracket for the audio people. It'll be tough to follow a little bit because whatever. But we're gonna post this bracket. We're gonna show you how wrong we are about our brackets. So if you want to make your own bracket, follow along with us and stick along for the ride. You can take a pause and pull up. If you haven't re-downloaded the app already, what are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Because it starts tomorrow. I'm gonna be making a bunch of brackets tonight. I always make my funny ones. I have one with Florida in it. Shout out to Tyree Samuel, former Seton Hall Pirate. Um, I don't know, Joel, if you follow. You're not a college basketball guy, right?
Well, okay, so like I'm a Seton Hall fan,
Right,
right?
right,
So
right.
like I'll watch some Seton Hall basketball,
Yeah,
and then once I saw they weren't in the tournament, I was like, well, damn, I'm not gonna, I don't really care
you're
about
not
this
keeping up with it.
anymore.
But
Uh,
so did you follow some, or at least somewhat see the Big East getting snubbed? Because I was going to talk about that for a second.
So I did not like some of the players that I know of, like I know Caleb Love, like he was in UNC and then he went to Arizona
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
having like one of his best years. I know about
he's
him.
having a good
I
year.
I know I know Zach Edey, like
Right.
I know some of those guys, but like when it comes to Big East, not exactly. I'm not
So
exactly familiar.
first off, I will also preface this because I consider myself a college basketball guy, but Joel will probably have a better bracket than me when it's all said and done.
Oh my
So
God.
really, you don't have to be a super fan of the sport to know it. So the Big East, right? They were rated the second best conference in the nation. The second best conference. That's a very difficult thing to do because there's a lot of
Yeah.
conferences, and they put in other teams that were not Big East teams that had very similar resumes, very close together in whatever the rankings were and all
Uh-huh.
that. St. John's, Seton Hall, and Providence. They put in Virginia, and Virginia last night put up 14 points in the first half against Colorado State. They were picked over Seton Hall, St. John's, Oklahoma, Indiana State, Providence, Pittsburgh, all those teams. This is also a team that lost by 20 to Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is bad at basketball. They didn't even get in the NIT, I'm pretty sure. So they're not a very good basketball team, Virginia, but they got put in. Michigan State got put in, only winning 19 games. Usually the rule is you win 20. So for the Big East to have the toughest conference schedule, second toughest conference schedule in the nation, and for only three Big East teams to get in, does that make any sense?
One of the things that I saw was that Indiana State did not get in,
Yeah,
which
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did not get into the tournament.
that kind of like I don't want to say it like got me heated, but I was just like, wait, I thought they were like one of the best teams in what how are they what?
So they didn't end
I
up winning
was
their conference. They ended up losing the conference tournament to
I
Drake.
was kind of I
That's
was
why
really
Drake is in
confused
there.
about that. I was like, wait, I thought weren't they like one of the best teams all year?
They
Like
were the
they
highest net ranked team, which I hate the net rankings. I hate all those metrics, but they were the highest team to ever be ranked in that category, to ranked by that system and not get
yeah.
into the NCAA tournament as an at-large bid. So that's pretty stupid.
Some of that's
Um,
wild to me,
it is
man.
wild, but Joel, the important part is we're gonna make it, and I don't know where everyone is in the net. I really don't know. All I know is the Big East got snubbed. It's a joke to college basketball, and they really need to go back to the drawing board next year and figure out a better way to rank these teams because clearly, after the Virginia Colorado State game, something is wrong. Something
Mhm.
is wrong. So let's fix it. Joel, we're gonna start in the East region though.
Let's get it.
I think this one's pretty easy. UConn playing Stetson, the 1-16 matchup.
We're not
Um,
going to spend too much time on this. Come on, UConn's been
yeah,
one of the best teams all year.
UConn.
I would not overthink this at
Yep.
all. Now I understand last year we saw a little bit of an upset. Oh, a big upset with Fairleigh Dickinson beating
Yeah,
Purdue. I don't think you're going to see anything like that this year. I
you
really
can't.
don't.
I don't think so. I think this is going to be a fairly chalk year. But again, every time we say that it's not, every time it just, you never know. But I'm going to give you my best guess. I like UConn a lot. They have a full roster. They're healthy. Donovan Kling is the best big man of the nation. Great squad. 8-9 game for
UConn.
that one. FAU and Northwestern. FAU went about 28-5, I believe, and people don't even think they should be in. Same thing with Northwestern. So it's a really weird matchup. One team's going to prove they belong, the other one will not, and will be a joke.
Is it weird that I have FAU still in there? Only, I mean, they made a run. You know
They
what I
did
mean?
last year. They lost a lot of players. They're not the same team. I'm a Northwestern guy, but Joel,
Yeah,
for the sake of time and also the sake of me having different things in my brackets, I'm going to go with FAU as well. I need to get a
FAU.
bracket with FAU in there. They have the tournament experience too. That's the big thing here as well. They have experience at this moment. Northwestern not so much. So are we in agreement on
Yeah,
FAU?
yeah, I like FAU
The
here.
Owls getting in there?
I'm okay
Okay.
with that.
So that means around a 32, you'll see UConn, FAU in our bracket. San Diego State and UAB, the 5 seed and the 12 seed. Obviously, another team that made a run. San Diego State
Yeah,
last year made it all the way to the national championship, playing UAB. Jelly Walker, no more, but they're still a good team. Those Blazers are solid. But you got the 5-12 matchup, San Diego State, UAB. This is one. This isn't in my game. I'm not a big Mountain West guy, nor am I a UAB Blazers guy. I am toying with the idea of this being my 12-5 upset, but San Diego State still, again, experienced, good team. I think if we're going with that logic, I'd go with San Diego State.
I would go with San Diego State too here.
We got the Aztecs, Joel. All right. Auburn and Yale. Auburn, a team that some people have as a nice dark horse 4 seed for the national championship. Yale is an Ivy League school, but they're also a good team. They play some quick offense. They got a lot going on for them. Good night, Joel. What is your what were you thinking for the Auburn Yale
I
game?
got Auburn here, man. Because
You
like I
got
mean,
Auburn.
at least for me, like I don't even think they were the best Ivy League team. I thought Princeton was way better than Yale.
Princeton's
So
awesome.
so
Yeah.
I don't know how. Like I said, I understand it's a committee thing. I don't know how exactly how that happened, but like at least
Well,
for
they
me,
won the
I'm like,
Ivy League.
well, yeah, but I'm like, I don't understand how Prince is not in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm just kind of like, you know what? I would pick Auburn here. I think they're
Yeah,
gonna crush Yale.
yeah. It's just tough for an Ivy League team to get in with. They don't play a really good schedule, so it's tough for them to get in as that large. BYU and Duquesne. BYU, their first year in the Big 12, getting the 6th seed in the NCAA tournament, one of the best conference in college basketball. Playing Duquesne, playing their first. They're the tournament for the first time, and I believe it's 46, 47 years. Um, I mean, this is big for their fan base. It's around, Pittsburgh guys. All the Yinzers are going nuts over the Duquesne squad out here. Obviously, BYU is again Big 12 team. Joel, I'm going to let you take the lead on who you're picking. This is a tough one for me.
I think I'm gonna take BYU here. I don't know.
Take BYU.
Maybe it's just me, but like everybody likes to see the Cinderella story runs, you know.
Yeah,
But it's just like if you don't have that kind of experience in being in this sort of thing, it's like I just at least take BYU going past the first round.
neither did St. Peter's have any experience the other year, but
Yeah, but you know that was a rarity, you know.
it's a rarity. It's also a rarity for Duquesne to even be here. So, but it would be a great story. A lot of times, sometimes the stories get through, but other times the stories get crushed. They will not be putting on the glass slipper this year. Duquesne. I have Duquesne going to Sweet 16, a couple of brackets, but just for the sake of again me having a different bracket than my other ones, I'm fine.
BYU.
Antonio Brown's favorite matchup: Illinois and Morehead State. Obviously Morehead State, very popular upset pick a couple years
Yeah, that's a
ago.
very yeah. I it's funny. I actually had Morehead State in one of my brackets
Oh yeah,
beating Illinois here.
yeah. Name
So
one player on Morehead State.
don't know
I
at
can't
all.
do it.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
you
That's
all
why
know
I'm like,
why you all know why you picked it. You all know why you picked it.
we all
But
know why we
Illinois is a really solid Big Ten squad. 3 seed this year. They're a little bit better. Um, they won the Big Ten. They got a good chance this year. But
if there's any upset that I would have, it's probably Morehead State winning.
probably Morehead State. Would it be funny? Here's the
Yes.
thing. Here's the thing. Also, Morehead State, yellow and blue. You know what else is yellow and blue? Break panel sports. Let's go with
Yeah.
Morehead.
Morehead State. Let's go.
Washington State and Drake in the 7-10 matchup. That'll be tomorrow, all the way at 10:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Washington State, really solid Pac-12 team. Drake defeated your beloved Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the 10-7 matchup.
I'm going with Drake.
You're going with Drake. I think it's good for your narrative of Indiana State being a team that should have got in because again, this team beat Indiana State. They're the reason they're
Yeah.
not in this game. So yeah, I think you have to go with Drake. I like Washington State. The Pac-12 was an interesting conference this year. Not the best, but also not too easy. You had a lot of they weren't very top heavy at all. Like the top wasn't very good, obviously Arizona, but the middle solid. There's a lot of bad teams in there, but Washington State, they did their thing. A team that I think people are even sleeping on as a 2 seed. The 2-15 matchup as we close out the East here. Iowa State and South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, making an appearance in the NCAA tournament after winning over their conference over there. Iowa State, really good squad, really interesting program that kind of goes back and forth on how good they are and how not good they are. But Iowa State, South Dakota State, I like the Cyclones, but I know
Yeah,
everybody likes their 15 upset. So I think we're going with the Cyclones here.
I think I'm going with Iowa State here.
Let's go with the Cyclones again. See, usually I know more about all these teams because there'd be more Big East teams as there should be, and I could give you much deeper analysis. But I don't know every team in this in this
Right.
bracket. I'm not familiar, but I'm familiar with North Carolina and Wagner after the Seahawks won last night, winning their first ever D1 NCAA tournament game. Congratulations to them. But UNC is coming in 1 seed, 16 seed. Wagner is one of the slower teams in the entire nation, so it'll be tough, right? You got to go with the
Right.
one.
I gotta go with the one.
Tom Izzo, Michigan State, Mississippi State. It's a team that should not be in the tournament, Michigan State, but they're in the tournament, and they have a chance to prove me wrong. And because I just said they're not going to be in the tournament, Michigan State got a chance. Tom Izzo's a great game planner. He's been in this game for a long time. That team is not as good as you think. 19 wins, at large bid, makes no sense. But here we are. They're playing Mississippi State, SEC squad. They're always tough and physical. That SEC teams, those SEC teams, they're dirty. Who do you like here, Joel?
Honestly, I was gonna take Michigan State.
We have to. I think we have to. I think because they got an easy matchup in
Yeah,
terms of what they
right.
could have gotten at the 8-9 level. So I understand. St. Mary's in Grand Canyon, GCU. I thought that was an online university. St. Mary's in Grand Canyon.
Uh,
St. Mary's in Grand Canyon. Joel, what do you got?
Grand Canyon.
You got the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I got Grand Canyon winning this, but
St. Mary's.
I will go with you got whatever you got.
I mean, no. You know what? I have not picked Grand Canyon yet in
You
a
have not picked
bracket.
Grand Canyon?
So because I really like St. Mary's, but I'm okay with swallowing my pride for this one for the sake of
Okay,
fantasy
okay.
points. Alabama is also because I do have Charleston in a couple of brackets winning this next game, Alabama and Charleston, but I have a feeling you're going to roll with the Tide.
You know me so well. Yeah, I
You
was
got to
gonna
roll with
pick
the Tide,
Bama
bro.
here.
Got to pick Bama. An interesting one: Clemson, New Mexico. New Mexico is the better team.
Wow.
New
Yeah.
Mexico is the better team, but they're the 11th seed. That is the interesting part we have here. I believe the odds are also very. I think it's a 2.5 spread for this game, which for 11-6 you don't really see very often, Joel. So New Mexico, I do. Some people had this team as a preseason Final Four team, and they
Yeah.
fell down to 11. The Mountain West not going to lie, 11 the seeding. But what do you got?
I had Mexico State here. That's
New
what I had.
Mexico. New Mexico State is not a basketball program. They're cooked. Or well, I think they are. They were cooked. So we're gonna go with the Lobos of New Mexico.
New Mexico.
They're a fun Mountain West team. Man.
I say Mexico State. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused.
It's okay. Baylor and toothpaste, Colgate. Are you going to roll with Crest or are you going to roll with Colgate here? This is a big moment of
I'll
Procter
go
and
with you
Gamble.
go with here only because like I will say for this matchup like it's a toss up for me even though like the
Toss-up.
ranking.
I think Baylor playing as well as they did in the Big 12 conference, which was the best conference college basketball has ever seen this year. I feel like Baylor, again, they have tournament experience. They got a great coaching staff. I'm going to go with Baylor to win one game at least in the NCAA tournament. I think that's a fair point. I'm going to go with them. I'm going to go with the Baylor Bears. Dayton and
Baylor.
Nevada. Dayton is fraudulent. I'm forcing you to pick Nevada.
I will take Nevada.
All right, cool. Arizona, Long Beach State. Are you picking Long Beach State? Are you picking the beach? That's what they are. They are the beach. That's what they are. That's their mascot, the beach.
I'm not gonna be taking the beach.
We're not taking the beach. We are eroding them. Last region here, or no, we got two more regions to round out the round of 64. This is the tough part. It gets a little more fun when you get to the round of 32. Houston, Longwood, not letting you make the joke. Nebraska, Texas A&M. The Aggies, another team that should not be here. Nebraska, they've got a very fun tournament player, but the Aggies are interesting. They're one of those teams that they can get hot, and they play really physical, but they're also one of those teams that can get exposed by a really solid team. In Nebraska, I'm going to go. I like Nebraska here.
I got Nebraska too here.
You got Nebraska. Okay. Big day for this is a big football bracket. I wonder why. Maybe because there's some expansion going on. That's why you left out Big East teams that don't have football. That's just my opinion. Wisconsin and James Madison, the Dukes taking on the Badgers. Popular 12-5 pick here. A lot of people like James Madison. A lot of people like JMU. I personally have it as a pretty big toss-up. But I think I've been taking the reign on a couple of the last picks. I'm gonna like your pick here.
I'm taking Wisconsin here only because like
I'm
this is
also
one
going Wisconsin.
I just don't think like a lot of these upsets are like fairly common. I feel like
Yeah.
when we post about upsets all the time, especially like James Madison, it's like, oh my
Right.
god, it's gonna be a big upset. It's like Sometimes you just gotta take the higher seeding, you know?
So, sometimes, again, it's only certain teams can put on the glass slipper.
Like, don't
And
overthink it sometimes.
JMU's had a great year, just as an athletic program, but I don't know. The Catamounts of Vermont and the Blue Devils of Duke.
Come on now. It's obviously Duke.
It's Vermont,
I'm taking
obviously.
I'm taking Duke like literally like not even cautiously. I'm
Wow.
comfortably picking Duke.
This is the most confident you've been in a pick today.
I'm not doubting Duke. Like I've learned my lesson throughout the years. I don't care who's on that
Okay.
roster. They're at least making like probably the Sweet 16 every
Okay.
year. It's gonna be at least Duke.
Okay. Here's the thing about Duke or Vermont, actually. Their leading scorer puts up 12 points a game. So that'll tell you enough. Texas Tech, NC State, ACC. They won that thing. They won that puppy. That's why they're here. They stole a bid from a lot of teams. They got a fun big man. They got a fun team. They're hot right now. I'm liking it. This is another very popular 11-6 upset. But I do like NC State. I think they got a
I like
really
NC State here too.
they run that offense through the big man. They find ways to get open threes. Obviously, Texas Tech had a tougher schedule with the Big 12, but I like them. The Wildcats of Kentucky, a very popular Final Four pick, is a 3 seed going against Oakland. I cannot name you one fact about Oakland basketball, so I'm going to roll with the Wildcats.
Don't even overthink it.
All right. We have not seen the Boise State Colorado game yet. I love Colorado a lot. They picked up Lampkin last year, but Florida has Seton Hall alum Tyree Samuel. It's going to be tough for us to go against them, Joel. But what do you got?
I'm not doubting Florida here. I think Florida
Don't
is
doubt
like
Florida.
Florida is one of my teams where I'm just kind of like, if they were to make it to like the Sweet 16, I wouldn't be shocked.
Wouldn't shock me at all, and it'll be great for Tyrese. It'll be great for Tyrese Samuel. That's our guy. That's our guy.
Yeah, that's our guy right
That's our
there.
guy. Marquette, Western Kentucky. I will go to war for Marquette, so please do not.
I'm also taking Marquette here.
Depends on the health of Tyler Kolek, but we're going with Marquette. Purdue and Grambling State or Middle Tennessee or whatever it is, MTST. I forgot who's playing that game. I don't think I'm going to
We're
watch
gonna
it
give
tonight.
them the benefit of the doubt and pick Purdue, but it would be funny if 2 years
It
in
would
a
be
row
so
you
good.
see this stupid team.
It'd be so good. It would be so good. But they've got to do something one year, right?
Right.
Utah State, TCU. What's your favorite mascot? Aggies
I-
or Horned
I'll go
Frogs?
Utah State here.
I also
I'll
like
go
Utah
Utah
State.
State.
I'm a big fan of Utah State. This is where it gets fun. This Midwest, I believe, is the Midwest. This Midwest is fun. This is where you're going to see chaos, Joel. That's what I'm kind of feeling here. Gonzaga and McNeese. Gonzaga starting to decline as a program. McNeese going on a good run to win their conference. Very popular 12-5 pick. But
I'm at
Gonzaga,
least at the very least, I'll take the Zags to make it out the first
okay,
round.
okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I understand that there is a decline with them though, but at the same time, just kind of like, yeah,
Still Gonzaga.
yeah, it's
It's
still
still Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Okay.
It's kind of the same with Duke, where I'm just like, at least
Yeah.
they're gonna win a game, right?
Right. You hope.
You
You
hope.
hope.
You hope.
You know who's not going to win a game, in my opinion? Kansas. Kansas lost one of their best players in McCullough.
Yep.
Samford is here in this game. People were starting to switch their brackets over. Obviously,
I'm
Kansas is a great team. This team to beat UConn, but they had that player before. Samford, Buckyball might have to be the time.
I'm gonna go
Do
with
you like
Samford here.
Samford? We are
I like Sam.
agreeing. We are agreeing a lot here. A
Well,
lot.
I'm also trying not to debate for time reasons, but also like when you're talking about Samford, and I looked and I did see the notification about like
Yeah.
Kansas losing their star player. I'm like,
About that.
yeah, I wouldn't object to Samford here. I really wouldn't.
Wouldn't do it. South Carolina, Oregon. Gamecocks having a great season. They are having one of the best seasons of their program's history, at least over the past while. They've been really bad, and they're back at the tournament. They're back and ready to go against Oregon, a team that won the Pac-12. Went through that tournament, defeated Colorado. But I like the Gamecocks, Joel.
I like I'll go with South Carolina here.
But you were
Only
kind of
because
like an Oregon.
I no, well, I was looking at Oregon mainly because they won,
Yeah,
but I kind of like the story of the teams that were at a fall through
right.
and
It
they
came
came
back. It
back.
came back. South
It's
Carolina, right?
like
You see those teams. They want to do something for their program. Creighton and Akron. Do you like the Zips? I don't.
I like Creighton here.
Yeah,
I really
Creighton's
like Creighton
phenomenal.
here.
Baylor Shireman's great. Colorado State and Texas, after watching them absolutely dismantle Virginia, and they're a good team. I think they'd take down Texas. I was kind of waiting for this matchup to really solidify my bracket. I'm a huge Colorado State guy. I think this is a really, really fun again, they blew out Creighton earlier in the year. They smoked them.
Yeah.
Colorado State is deep. They've got a chance to make a real run of this tournament. I'm picking them against Texas, Joel.
I'll ride with you with Colorado State. I do like Texas
Okay.
only because, but then again, I'm not gonna debate it here because, like I
Okay.
said, yeah, I'm sure you know more about it than me.
Okay.
But then again, Colorado State, and like you said, they blew them out the other night, a few nights ago. So that's why I'm like, you know what?
No, it was like early in the season. It wasn't really a few. It
I
was
really see
months
my
ago.
fault. But
Um,
yeah,
they
I
smoked.
would go with Colorado State here.
They know how to win. To keep it simple for the final pick of the round of 64, are you going with the funny Peacocks?
No,
See, it can't happen twice, right?
no, I'm not. I'm
Lightning
not
is
picking them.
lightning strike twice. It doesn't.
It does not.
Round of 32, things get a little easier. Well, not easier, but more. We don't have to go as fast. UConn and FAU. FAU was notorious for their run last year, all the way to the Final Four. They take on UConn though in the East region. Going to be a tough game, but
You easily take UConn here.
UConn. This one's one of my favorite matchups. I know what I like: San Diego State versus Auburn. But you got that nice 5-4. You love seeing the 5-4 the round of 64, round of
Right?
32. It's really good. But San Diego State, again, they lost some pieces. And Auburn, Bruce Pearl has that team ready to roll. I like Auburn.
I like Auburn too
They
here.
play that SEC basketball, easy money. So this is a funny one. BYU and Morehead State. One of these teams is going to Sweet 16. It's going to be interesting. Is this your Cinderella, or do you have the Morehead journey ending here?
This is tough.
It's tough, right? Again,
Because like
BYU,
it,
Big 12 basketball.
we would look like geniuses if we picked
Right.
Morehead State.
We would.
But
I
screw it,
kind
you
of
want to
want
go with
to.
Morehead State?
This is a podcast. This is not my serious bracket. Let's roll with it. And you know what? Iowa State Drake. No, I can't pick Drake. I can't do it. I can't do
You
it.
can't pick Drake?
Can you?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. Iowa State and the
Go Iowa
Cyclones head on
State.
to the Sweet 16. North Carolina and Michigan State. I really want Michigan State's run to end here, but I've been talking to some people and it's like, yeah, okay, Michigan State didn't deserve to be in here, but now that they are in here, they're one of those teams that are just going to make a run.
You really
North
think they're gonna
Carolina
take
is a
down
good.
North Carolina?
I don't think they will, but I think it'll be a really good basketball game. I think it'll be a really good game. I like
Because
North Carolina
I
here. North Carolina did lose to Villanova, which is pretty bad, but they've got a really good team. They've got a 25-year-old Armando Bacot, who needs to hit up LinkedIn soon. So, but he wants to go out to the sunset pretty well. So, what are
I
we
think
thinking?
they'll at least make the
Sweet 16. They gotta get Sweet
yeah,
16.
or at least the 8,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, it depends who we pick here. Grand Canyon and
Yeah.
Alabama. Do you like Grand Canyon? Do you like GCU? Do you want to get your education online,
Is
or do
it
you want
weird that
to?
I like Grand Canyon here?
He likes Grand Canyon. I like fun. 112 matchup. Let's do it. New
Grand
Mexico and Baylor, the Lobos. Again, they are not an 11 seed. They're more of an 8 to me. But they are sitting here in this matchup, which would be 11 seed New Mexico versus 3 seed Baylor. I think New Mexico is, again, on a good run right now. And Baylor, man, they are kind of inconsistent. I mean, they won a lot of games, but when they are bad, when they're off, they're losing to anybody in the nation. I like the Lobos, Joel. I think we're going to see some
I
fun
like New
teams.
Mexico as well.
So right now, and we haven't even gone through half of this, we have a 14 seed, a 12 seed, and an 11 seed in the Sweet 16. Let's ride.
Yes.
Nevada and Arizona, Wolfpack, the alma mater of a lot of fun players. Arizona, you mentioned Caleb Love. I guess you're a big fan, right?
I like Arizona. I mean, I I honestly I look at Caleb Love especially, and I'm just like, I don't think
Yeah,
they're gonna be one of those teams where it's like, they went on a little run, but it ended short.
right.
I just don't see that happening, especially being ended by Nevada. I
Yeah.
don't see it happening.
Houston is one of those teams that has failed a lot. They lose a lot early on, and they are a 1 seed, and they went to the Big 12, and they did the same thing they did last year. They just kept on winning, even without Marcus Sasser. They have a great story in playing Nebraska. But Joel, does the Houston run end here? Do they keep going?
I say it ends here. I like Nebraska.
He likes Nebraska. Book it. Wisconsin and Duke. I think you have Duke, right?
Here I have Duke. Yeah.
It's got Duke. Yeah, Wisconsin, they're fun. They play hard. They play great. They're probably going to be angry. They lost the Big Ten championship, win a game, and then it ends to the run of Kyle Filipowski. I like it. NC State of Kentucky. This one's really fun. These teams haven't really seen each other, but obviously, again, NC State is kind of a popular Cinderella. Kentucky's Kentucky. It's kind of either Kentucky loses here or they go to the Final Four. They don't have a lot of in between room, in my opinion. Um, NC State, Kentucky. I like the Wildcats. I got them moving. But if you like NC State, I'm not opposed to it.
Nah, I'm picking Kentucky.
All right, we'll go with Kentucky. Tyree Samuel has seen Marquette quite a bit throughout his college basketball career. He's got a chance to make some Sweet 16 magic happen against Marquette. Joel, does he get the job done? We don't know
I
how
say
healthy.
no.
We
I
don't know
say
how
no.
healthy Tyler Kolek's going to be. We don't know. Let's go with Marquette, though. I like it.
I like Marquette here.
Purdue and Utah State. This is really the part of the tournament where they lose. This is what they do. This is how they lose to dumb teams. They don't make any sense. But also, if there's a time for Zach Edey to get it done, it's now. It's now. He has to, right?
I say so.
I say
I
so. Let's
that
do it.
I mean, it would be absolutely insane, but
Right. It was just at what point do you stop taking them serious? If they lose in the round of 32 this year, you cannot take that program seriously anymore. You just cannot do
right.
it. And they might get an easy matchup. They will get an easy matchup no matter what because you got Gonzaga, Samford here. Gonna roll the Zags, or do we have Samford, the Georgia school, making it to the Sweet
I'll
16?
I'll go with what you go with here, only because like I know
I'm
Gonzaga,
going with Samford. Screw it.
Samford,
Let's
Samford.
ride. Creighton, South Carolina, Nebraska versus South Carolina. I like Creighton a lot.
I
I
like
got them
Creighton a
going
lot
far.
here.
Let's go with Creighton, Tennessee, Colorado State. We need a 2 seed to go down. I like the Rams.
You know what? I'll go with them too. I had Tennessee originally, but I'll go with Colorado State.
You know what that creates? That creates the rematch of Creighton, Colorado State
Let's go.
in the Sweet 16. We're going to start there. We're going to start at the bottom this time. All right,
I got it.
Creighton, Colorado State. I just told you about the game earlier in the year. Do we get revenge or do we get a sweep?
I say Creighton.
He says Creighton. I'll ride with it. I'll ride with it. Purdue's a 1 seed and a 13 seed in the Sweet 16. I mean, Purdue cannot lose here, right?
I don't think so.
We have Purdue in the Elite Eight. Are we cooked? I don't know. Kentucky, Marquette. Really good 2-3. Kolek should be healthy by now. Marquette, the Golden Eagles, Oso Ighodaro. I mean, obviously, I'm a Big East guy. What is
I'm gonna go with
inclined?
I'm going with Kentucky here.
You're going with Kentucky.
Why'd you say it like that?
Kentucky. I like
Kentucky.
Marquette. I like Marquette, but
You
again,
want to go with Marquette?
But if I no, I'm going to go with Kentucky because again, I don't know how healthy Tyler Kolek is going to be. I can't answer that question, so I have to. Nebraska would be a really good story in the Sweet 16 here. They've got some fun players, but you're taking Duke.
Yeah, I'm taking Duke here.
Yeah, we'll take Duke. Duke and Kentucky. Oh, you really want to see Duke and Kentucky? That's why you did that. That's why you did this, right? You want to see Duke and Kentucky.
No,
You want to watch that
no.
again? New Mexico,
Yeah, maybe.
Arizona. I got the Lobos. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
If you pick Grand Canyon to go to the Elite Eight here, Joel, I'll be very mad.
No, I'm picking North Carolina. Come on.
Okay. Moorhead, Iowa State. Moorhead or a Cyclone?
I'm going with Iowa State.
Iowa State to go to the Elite Eight. UConn, Auburn. This is a really big matchup. I believe a 1 seed hasn't, or a reigning national champion has not gotten past the Sweet 16 in a very long time. Is this the first time it happens against a really good Auburn Tiger team? I just see the look on your face, and that just screams Auburn to me. I got them locked in.
I got Auburn, man.
Auburn, I think, because Auburn is a physical team. They got a lot going on for them. Yes, UConn's deep. Yes, UConn's great. Yes, they got Donovan Clingan, but they can't. You can't do it. You have to go with Auburn here.
This just reminds me of last year when I picked Arkansas to
You
beat
did.
Kansas.
All right, you're
And
really feeling it. You're really
so
feeling
many
it.
so many people were like, "Oh, what? So
Yeah.
weird." And then I got it right, and I was like so
Yeah, you were like,
shocked.
whoa. You bet
Like
on
I got
SEC
it right.
basketball. You bet on SEC basketball. It's what you do. Auburn, Iowa State. And we're gonna start with that one. They were riding high off beating UConn.
I'm going with Auburn.
If they're riding high off beating UConn, Iowa State just beat Morehead State. I think Auburn's going to be better battle tested. I think they're better coached too. We're going to go with them. North Carolina and the New Mexico Lobos, who somehow got here as an 11th seed. Does the Cinderella run continue for the 11th seed New Mexico team, or does North Carolina go to the Final Four?
North Carolina.
Yeah, UNC. They can only go play for so long. The bottom four is interesting. Duke and Kentucky. Oh wow, we've never
Duke
seen
and
this matchup
Kentucky.
before. I like Kentucky here quite a bit.
I like Kentucky here too. I
Yeah,
like
they've got a
Kentucky
deeper
a
team.
lot.
They've got a better squad. I like them. Purdue and Creighton does the Mickey run for Purdue end here against a really good Creighton team who just took down Colorado State, absolved themselves? Yeah, okay, you're nodding your head. Creighton's going to the Final
Creighton.
Four.
I love
So
Creighton.
our Final Four. Auburn plays North Carolina, and Kentucky plays Creighton in the Final Four. So go to
I like this Final
Glendale.
Four. I
I
like this
like it a
Final Four.
lot.
I like this Final
To
Four.
go to the
Auburn,
national
North Carolina,
championship. To go to the
Kentucky, and
national
Creighton.
championship. I like it. I like it a lot. It's not. It doesn't have the crazy upsets that we saw last year. There's no FAU, right?
Yeah, right.
There's not. New Mexico would have been interesting to put here, but I do like North Carolina. However, Final Four: Auburn, North Carolina. I think your North Carolina Tar Heels.
I like North Carolina, man. I like them a lot here.
It's tough for the Break
But
Panel Sports
here's the
bracket.
thing, though,
Yeah,
because if you're just off beating UConn and then Iowa State,
that's a great
I-
run. Now you're tired though. You're
yeah. So here's the thing. For me, it's kind of a toss up, just because I like Auburn, but in one of my brackets, I had North Carolina winning the whole thing.
So
So
did
that's why
I.
I'm.
So
So
can we
that's why
just
I'm
go
like.
Auburn to make it different? Because I also have North Carolina bracket. I don't want
I
two,
mean,
Joel.
I also want to be I want to be realistic here because I mean we've seen runs where like the ones they'll go win the whole thing, but
Right. This is
I'm
the
gonna
only
go with
one
whatever
seed we
you.
have.
I'm
This is the
going with
only
what
one
you
seed.
go with here, only because like I said, between the two, I wouldn't mind if either of them were in the championship.
Go Tigers. Go Auburn.
Auburn,
Kentucky, Creighton. Blue on blue.
Kentucky, and Creighton. Oh, geez.
I know much more about Creighton. I like Creighton.
Is it
The biggest
weird that I
basketball.
want to pick Creighton?
I really want to pick Creighton. I really want to pick Creighton because Baylor Shireman can go out really good. I mean, they got a great big and Ryan Kalkbrenner who can handle just about anybody. I like it.
It's Auburn and Kentucky. Wow.
Auburn and Creighton in the national championship game. First off, how many points will we score in the national championship game?
How many points will be scored in the national championship game? I'm gonna go with 143.
Wow, Vegas loves you.
Yeah. Yeah.
143. Vegas loves you, buddy. Auburn and
We're talking
Creighton.
about combined, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Auburn and Creighton. April 8th, Glendale, Arizona.
Huh.
Do the Blue Jays win their first national championship, as far as I know? Or does the SEC continue to go on a great run, usher in a new era? Does the football school take down the Big East school? The Big East looking to prove everybody wrong here in this national championship game. Why'd you only put 3 of my teams in here? I'm just going to beat you all. Or does Bruce Pearl get his first national championship as a head coach of Auburn University?
What do
Jabari
you think I'm
Walker.
gonna pick?
I think you're going to pick Auburn.
I think yeah.
I
Yeah.
would roll with Auburn in this game.
I like Auburn.
I like Auburn a lot. We have Auburn winning the national championship here in this bracket. I'm going to hit submit on it. And here we go. We made our bracket.
There you go.
Yeah, we did it. All right. We will
I
be,
like it. I mean, listen, especially when you look at last year with FAU and like all these, it's like,
no.
come on, I don't think that's
got
the
a little
worst
normal.
bracket in the world.
We got a little normal. So I'm naming it the Break Panel Sports bracket. We're going to save that. Okay, Joel. I think we might have to go back and take a look at this and see if we get anything idiotic. All right, Joel. So we made our bracket. We have Auburn winning the Natty because why not? They
Why
beat
not?
Creighton, our Final Four. Just to recap again for you, those who may have tuned out or something. Auburn, Iowa State. That's our matchup. And then Duke and Kentucky. We got no, that's not what we got. I'm reading this wrong. I always read the bracket wrong. That's our Elite Eight. Where's our final? There's our Final Four. Auburn, North Carolina, and Kentucky and Creighton.
Let me just start off by saying I love our Final Four. Like,
I like
love
it a
our-
lot. I like.
I love our Final Four. Our Final Four is really good.
It's pretty good. You got Auburn, who again not a super popular. I mean, they're kind of in the middle in terms of popular national championship picks. North Carolina's getting popular, but Armando Bacot's old man run ends in the Final Four against Auburn, and then Auburn goes out and beats Creighton and Natty. I like
Plus,
it.
I wouldn't say our bracket is like insane, like popular choices.
No,
So
I
that's
mean
why
we
I'm
have
like,
some interesting ones in there. I mean, my a big one I think that we have is the fact that Auburn beats UConn in the Sweet 16. That is kind of their big hill to climb. They've got to beating UConn is going to be tough for that team. And then we end up playing Iowa State. They end up playing North. It's a great run they go on. I mean, they beat 2 1 seeds, get it done.
yeah.
That's a great run for Auburn if they can do that.
Like that's what I'm saying. If you do that, then they gotta be winning the
Yeah.
championship.
So our Cinderellas, we have Morehead State making the Sweet 16. And I think New Mexico we had going pretty far, if I'm not mistaken. Samford went pretty far. They play
Sam,
Purdue.
yeah.
Um, yeah, New
Also, like
Mexico has to play
none of
Arizona.
these like Cinderella runs are really like going past like Elite Eight.
I
Really,
don't think we
like,
have a double. We don't have a double-digit team going past the Sweet 16. I'm pretty sure. Besides,
that's yeah.
I think besides, yeah, we have New Mexico going pretty far. They play. Yeah, we have New Mexico beating Arizona, and then they have to play North Carolina. So we do have them go. That's our farthest double digit team. I believe that's the Elite Eight, if I'm not mistaken, if I can read my bracket properly. And that's gonna be fun. So yeah, we
I
New
like our bracket though.
Mexico's yeah,
I
New
like it a
Mexico's
lot.
kind of our team. New Mexico's kind of our Cinderella, the glass slipper, to put a different word on it. Now, if you've been following, you'll know that this is not gonna happen. The perfect bracket is impossible.
No, it will not happen. Well, I'm telling you, watch like Auburn losing like the first round, and we're gonna be like, okay, well,
Yeah, if Auburn loses to
it's
Yale,
over.
if Auburn loses to Yale, I guess we gotta like the what delete the podcast probably. I don't know.
Probably it's over.
We gotta delete the podcast. It's cooked. It's beyond cooked. But there's our bracket. We're gonna kind of post that along. We're gonna follow it along, and this will be the bracket that we follow throughout March. The NCAA tournament starts tomorrow. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the best time of the year to watch basketball. Get the TVs ready. If you got work, no, you don't. You're going to be watching college basketball if you can on your computer. Just make sure you hide it from your boss. Okay.
If anything, I might post some videos on our TikTok. Make sure to follow that about
Yeah.
covering the March Madness tournament, seeing any upsets or anything like that. Um, so yeah, that'll be probably cool.
Yeah. Well, again, we'll keep it posted with our bracket. We'll see if we have anything good, anything right. But Joel, anything left to add about our NCAA tournament journey here?
Go Auburn,
Go Auburn, go Tigers, not
go
LSU,
Tigers.
but go Tigers. And also, go Seton Hall today. Hopefully the Pirates can take down St. Joseph's, make a run in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
NIT.
win
Couple
something. That'd be
win
kind of cool.
something. Prove somebody wrong. I know it's the NIT, but I am happy they played. Thing is, this NCAA tournament always be stained because the Big East should have been in it a bit more. But that's just my
Yep.
opinion. That's just my opinion. That's just me, and you're just you. Joel, it's been a pleasure. Here's our bracket. And if we fail, if we have a bad bracket, all right, I'll accept the L. I'll accept the L. But we tried. We made one.
We made one. You can't say we didn't make. We made one.
We'll
It'll be
probably
out
have.
there.
So if you fade most of our picks, you'll probably have a pretty good bracket, to be honest with
Yeah,
you. But hey,
you might. You might.
it was fun. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, morning, evening, nighttime, lunch break, whatever you ended up doing, whether you're in the car, wherever you are. Thank you for taking the time to take a listen to us talking about this bracket, this March Madness, trying to take a stab at it, see if we can make some right picks. Joel, thank you for joining me as always. And all of
Let's
you,
go.
have a good one. We'll see you another time.
See ya.